Imagine this: two children are born on the same day, they grow up in the same city, attend the same school, and are given almost the same opportunities. Fast forward 20 years. One is building wealth, investing money, and creating financial freedom. The other is living paycheck to paycheck, constantly stressed about bills and wondering, why life feels so difficult. What happened? Was it luck? Was it talent? Was it intelligence? Not necessarily, because one of the biggest reasons people stay poor has nothing to do with how hard they work. It has everything to do with how they think, and the most dangerous part. Most people don't even realize it's happening. Your daily dose of money mindset starts here. I'm Wealthix Carter, and your one like and subscribe helps this journey grow bigger. Let's start the video, guys. Most people believe poverty is only about income, but that's not entirely true. There are people earning good salaries who remain broke, and there are people earning average incomes who slowly build wealth. So what's the difference? The answer lies in habits, because wealth is rarely built through one giant decision. It's built through thousands of small decisions repeated every day. The problem is that most people never examine those decisions. They simply repeat what they've always done. Think about it. If someone spends every dollar they earn, they remain dependent on their next paycheck. If someone saves and invests a portion of every paycheck, they slowly create freedom. The actions look small, but over time, the gap becomes enormous, and that's where the first hidden trap appears. The trap of living for today. Modern society encourages instant gratification. Everything is designed to give immediate pleasure, one-click shopping, instant entertainment, food delivered in minutes, social media notifications every few seconds. Your brain becomes addicted to rewards, and when your brain becomes addicted to immediate rewards, long-term success becomes difficult, because wealth requires patience, wealth requires sacrifice, wealth requires the ability to delay pleasure today so you can enjoy greater rewards tomorrow. But most people never learn this skill. Instead, they spend money to feel better temporarily: a new phone, a new gadget, a luxury item they don't really need. And for a moment it feels amazing, then the feeling disappears and they're back where they started. The purchase didn't solve the problem. It only distracted them from it. This creates a cycle: earn, spend, repeat, earn, spend, repeat, year after year, decade after decade. Without realizing it, they become trapped. The second reason many people stay poor is because they confuse income with wealth. These are not the same thing. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. Someone earning $100,000 a year can still be broke. Someone earning $50,000 a year can still build wealth, because wealth isn't about how much money enters your life. It's about what happens after it enters. Many people increase their income, but they increase their lifestyle even faster. Every raise leads to more spending, a bigger car, a bigger house, more subscriptions, more expenses. As income rises, spending rises, and financial stress remains exactly the same. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the biggest silent wealth killers in the world. Instead of using extra income to buy assets, most people use extra income to buy liabilities. The result? They look wealthy, but they're not actually wealthy, because true wealth isn't what people see, it's what they don't see. It's the investments, the savings, the ownership, the financial security being built quietly in the background. Unfortunately, social media teaches the opposite lesson. People are rewarded for looking rich, not becoming rich, and many people spend years chasing appearances while neglecting reality. Now let's talk about something even more powerful: the environment. Imagine planting a seed. If you place that seed in fertile soil, give it sunlight, water, and care, it grows. But if you place the same seed in poor soil, surrounded by harsh conditions, its growth becomes difficult. People are no different. Your environment shapes your beliefs shape your actions, and your actions shape your future. If everyone around you constantly complains about money, you'll begin thinking that financial struggle is normal. If everyone around you believes success is impossible, you'll eventually believe it too. If everyone around you spends everything they earn, you'll likely do the same. This happens because human beings naturally adapt to their surroundings. We absorb the attitudes, behaviors, and expectations of the people closest to us. Without realizing it, we begin copying them, and that's why your circle matters so much. Look closely at the conversations happening around you. Are people discussing opportunities? Or are they discussing excuses? Are they focused on growth? Or are they focused on blame? Because the people around you are constantly influencing your standards, and your standards determine your results. Wealthy individuals understand this. That's why they invest heavily in their environment, not just physical environments, mental environments. They read books that challenge their thinking. They listen to successful people. They learn from experts. They surround themselves with ideas that expand their vision. Meanwhile, many people spend hours consuming negativity, news headlines designed to create fear, arguments on social media, entertainment that provides distraction but no growth, and over time, that mental diet becomes their reality. Remember this, your brain is always being programmed. The question is, who is doing the programming? Because if you don't take control of your mind, someone else will. The next hidden reason people stay poor is fear. Fear is one of the most expensive emotions in the world. Fear stops people from investing. Fear stops people from learning new skills. Fear stops people from starting businesses. Fear stops people from taking opportunities. And the worst part, fear disguises itself as logic. People say, I'm waiting for the perfect time. I'll start next year. I need more information. What if it doesn't work? But often these are simply fear wearing a different mask. Now, this doesn't mean taking reckless risks. It means understanding that every meaningful opportunity involves uncertainty. No successful entrepreneur knew exactly what would happen. No investor could predict the future perfectly. No wealthy person had guarantees. They simply acted. Despite uncertainty, most people wait until they feel completely confident. The problem is confidence usually comes after action, not before it. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. You didn't become confident first. You became confident because you practiced. The same principle applies to money and success. Action creates confidence, not the other way around. Another major reason people remain poor is because they focus on earning instead of learning. This might sound surprising, but it explains why some people stay financially stuck for decades. They spend all their time trying to make money, yet very little time learning how money works. They learn how to do a job, but they never learn about investing. They learn how to earn income, but they never learn how to build assets. They learn how to pay bills, but they never learn how wealth is created. As a result, they work harder and harder while remaining trapped in the same financial position. Wealthy people think differently. They understand that knowledge compounds. A single skill can increase income for years. A single financial lesson can save thousands of dollars. A single book can completely change how you think about money. That's why they invest in learning, because knowledge often produces greater returns than anything else. And here's something many people don't realize: the wealthiest people in the world are often obsessed with education, not formal education, self-education. They never stop learning. They never stop improving. They never stop adapting, because they understand that the marketplace rewards value. The more value you can create, the more opportunities come your way. The more opportunities come your way, the more wealth becomes possible. This leads us to another dangerous trap: the victim mindset. The victim mindset sounds like this: the economy is the problem, my boss is the problem, my family is the problem, my circumstances are the problem. Now, external challenges absolutely exist. Some people face greater obstacles than others. That's reality. But successful people focus on what they can control. Unsuccessful people focus on what they can't. One mindset creates action. The other creates helplessness. And helplessness is incredibly expensive, because the moment you believe you have no control, you stop looking for solutions. You stop improving. You stop growing. You stop trying. And when growth stops, progress stops. That's why wealthy thinkers ask different questions. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What can I do about it?" Instead of asking, "Who's responsible?" they ask, "What's the solution?" These small mental shifts create massive differences over time, because every question you ask directs your focus, and your focus determines your actions. The truth is that poverty isn't always a lack of money. Sometimes it's a lack of perspective, a lack of knowledge, a lack of discipline, a lack of responsibility. And once those areas improve, financial results often improve as well. The good news? Every one of these things can be changed. Your habits can change. Your environment can change. Your knowledge can grow. Your mindset can evolve. Your future can improve. But it starts with awareness, because you cannot change what you refuse to see. Now let's talk about one of the most dangerous financial traps in the world, the scarcity mindset. A scarcity mindset is the belief that there is never enough, not enough money, not enough opportunities, not enough success, not enough resources. People trapped in scarcity constantly operate from fear. They fear losing money. They fear taking risks. They fear investing in themselves. They fear missing out. And because their decisions are driven by fear, they often make choices that keep them stuck. Imagine someone who refuses to learn a valuable skill because it costs money. At first, this seems like they're saving money, but in reality, they may be losing far more by staying exactly where they are. This is how scarcity thinking works. It focuses on short-term cost while ignoring long-term value. Wealthy people think differently. They focus on return instead of asking, how much does this cost? They ask, what can this produce? A poor mindset sees spending, a wealthy mindset sees investing. This simple difference changes everything. Consider two people. One buys things to impress others. The other buys knowledge, skills, and assets. Years later, their financial lives look completely different, not because one was luckier, but because one focused on consumption while the other focused on growth. And here's the interesting part. Your brain naturally wants certainty. It wants comfort. It wants familiarity. That's why change feels uncomfortable. When you start saving money instead of spending it. It feels strange. When you start investing instead of consuming. It feels uncomfortable. When you start waking up earlier to work on your goals. It feels difficult, but discomfort is often a sign of growth. Think about going to the gym. Your muscles become stronger because they experience resistance. So what is the real reason poor people stay poor without realizing it? It's not because they're lazy, it's not because they're stupid, and it's not always because they lack opportunities. More often than not, they are trapped by invisible patterns, patterns of thinking, patterns of spending, patterns of reacting, patterns they inherited from their environment, their upbringing, and their daily habits. And the longer these patterns continue, the more normal they begin to feel. That's what makes them dangerous, because when something feels normal, we stop questioning it, we stop examining it, we stop trying to change it, and that's exactly how people spend years or even decades living the same financial reality. But here's the good news: the moment you become aware of the pattern, you gain the power to break it. Awareness is where transformation begins. Think about every major change in your life before anything improved. You first recognized a problem, you noticed something wasn't working, and then you decided to do something about it. Financial success works the same way. The first step isn't making more money. The first step is thinking differently about money, because your financial life is often a reflection of your mental life. If your mind is filled with excuses, your actions will reflect excuses. If your mind is filled with fear, your actions will reflect fear. If your mind is focused on growth, your actions will reflect growth, and over time, those actions create results. That's why wealthy people protect their minds so carefully. They understand that every book they read, every conversation they have, every piece of content they consume is shaping their future. They don't leave their mindset to chance. They build it intentionally. Now, imagine where you could be 1 year from today. Imagine reading for just 20 minutes every day. Imagine learning a valuable skill. Imagine saving and investing consistently. Imagine surrounding yourself with people who encourage growth. Imagine replacing excuses with action. Would your life look different? Of course it would, not because of one dramatic moment, but because small improvements compound, just like money compounds, just like habits compound, just like success compounds. The challenge is that compounding is invisible in the beginning. Most people quit because they don't see immediate results, but successful people trust the process. They understand that every positive action is a vote for the person they want to become. Every dollar saved is a vote for financial freedom. Every book read is a vote for intelligence. Every disciplined choice is a vote for success. And eventually, those votes create a completely new identity. That's when everything changes, because true wealth isn't just about money. Money is only one part of the equation. True wealth is having choices. True wealth is having freedom. True wealth is having control over your time. True wealth is waking up every morning knowing your future is being shaped by your decisions, not your circumstances. And that journey starts today, not next week, not next month, not next year, today. Because every day you wait, the cost of waiting grows every day. You delay learning, someone else is learning. Every day you delay improving, someone else is improving. Every day you delay investing, time keeps moving forward. The future belongs to those who act, not those who wait. So ask yourself this question: what financial habit is holding me back right now? What belief about money do I need to challenge? What excuse have I been repeating for years? And most importantly, what action can I take today? Not tomorrow, today, because your future isn't created by what you know, it's created by what you do. Knowledge without action changes nothing. Action changes everything. The people who build wealth aren't necessarily the smartest people in the room. They're often the most consistent, the most disciplined, the most patient, the most committed to growth, and those qualities are available to anyone willing to develop them, including you. So stop focusing on where you are, start focusing on where you're going. Stop focusing on what you've lost. Start focusing on what you can build. Stop focusing on limitations. Start focusing on possibilities, because the moment you change your mindset, you begin changing your life, and the moment you take responsibility for your future, you begin taking control of it. Remember, the biggest prison in the world isn't made of steel bars. It's made of limiting beliefs, and the key to escaping it has been in your hands all along. Your thoughts, your choices, your habits, your actions. Choose wisely, because the decisions you make today are quietly creating the life you'll live tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Wealthix Carter for more content on money mindset, financial psychology, wealth building, and personal development. And remember, poor people don't stay poor because they lack potential. They stay poor because they repeat patterns that keep them there. Break the pattern, and you can change your future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.